Ethics answer writing is a very challenging for many UPSC aspirants who are approaching this mains examination 2025. Let's decode how we have to approach code-based question, because there are 3 questions which are coming for the code-based question. It's very unusual because all other questions are very theoretical and other rest of the questions are case studies. But this code-based question is a very challenging one, and let's decode that. This is Madhavi with you from Kingmakers IAS Academy. Let's get into this session. So these are the 2 approaches in which the questions are asked. That is, they're asking 3 quotations are given and they're asking you to bring what it conveys to you. That is, what do each of these quotations convey to you in the present context, which means they're asking you the meaning and relevance in your own opinion or in your own view or in your own understanding. So simply they're asking you your understanding and what it means to you. Simply you have read a lot of quotes or a lot of poems. So every authors would have a different perspective, but what it means to you is all what the UPSC is asking. And the next question, the same approach. What does each of the following quotation mean to you? So they're asking simply your view. They're not asking the relevance at all. But still you will write the relevance because that is the basic necessity of this code-based question. So you should be telling what it means to you. You should be telling how it is relevant, how it is applied, how it is very significant in your life or in any corporates or in any culture or in any work life. So this is how you will be decoding your code-based questions. So let's see the UPSC previous year questions and various approaches in decoding this particular code-based questions. So to better tell you, there are 2 ways. So what would be your introduction? This is a very simple question. So how do I introduce? Already there is a code. Usually the other theory parts I'll be introducing based on codes. But for a code-based question itself, what would be my introduction? So as the question is asking for the meaning, you can bring the meaning of the code in your introduction itself. So this is the one simple and usual way of introducing. So approach for introduction is giving the meaning of the code. But there are better ways. There are a number of approaches to give a better introduction for this code-based question. So let's see one by one. Tell the context of the code. What is the context of the code? That is, the context of the code means when it is written or what is it telling. Say for example, there is a quote about wars or there is a quote about compassion. So there is a situation in which there is the author is telling that compassion is the needed value or war should not be there. So this is the context in which the quotes are given by the thinkers themselves. So this is the context that you will bring it in the introduction. So tell the context of the quote. Say for example, they are telling critical thinking. So the context is in the recent social media or in the post-truth society, there is a lot of misinformation and disinformation. So critical thinking is an important attribute that every individual should have. So this is the context of the quote. Say there is a quote about war. So the context is of course the current affairs, which means there is a recent escalation of Russia-Ukraine war or Israel-Palestine conflict that can delve into or that can emerge into a nuclear disaster. So this is how you will introduce a context of the quote. And what is the concept given in the quote? Of course, you should understand what is the core of the quote, whether it is about compassion or it is about the whole value system, or is it simply about war, or is it is about the problem of social unrest and the thinking of the people. So you should understand what is the crux of the quote, what is the core concept of the quote, or what is the crux. So this will tell you how you will be introducing. Say there is a quote on democracy. Say there is a quote on democracy. So this is the core concept of the quote, and you will say what is a democracy in simple literal meaning that you will quote in various other GS papers. So this is how you will be defining the concept given in the quote. and then explain the thought process of author behind the quote. This is another way of introduction wherein you will bring the thought process of the author itself. Say, for example, Gandhi talked about the vulnerable section or the Harijans. So then you will tell how these marginalized people or these people are being marginalized. And so you say Gandhi was becoming angry to see that these vulnerable section of people are being exploited. So this is how you will bring how the thought process of the author behind the quote. And then you can simply expand the meaning of the quote. So this is the usual way that I told you. Simply explain the meaning of the quote, how the quote is and what it means to you. Fine. And then what you should not do. So these are the 4 simple ways of giving an introduction, and then we will tell what you should not do. What you should not do is, do not explain about the thinker or philosopher. Say, for example, there is a quote on Nehru. You say Nehru is a Prime Minister of India. He's the architect of modern India. He wrote the book Discovery of India. These are the information that you can stuff in your GS paper, but not in ethics paper. Ethics paper does not tell you, ask you to define the personality behind the quote. And then do not start with another quote. Even though you are very tempted to give another quote which is very similar to the quote given in the question, please do not thrust with another quote. You can apply it in the conclusion or in between the body. But please do not start the quote-based question with another quote, though it means the same thing. And then the best way, so these are the 2 important quotes from the previous year question. So I'll tell you how you can introduce using these quotes. See this Mahatma Gandhi quote and another quote. Okay, so this Mahatma Gandhi quote says, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. So here the core value or the core concept that the Gandhi wanted to highlight is service of others and way to find yourself. So simply he's telling that the finding yourself, you can do it better when you serve others. So this is what Mahatma Gandhi means. So you have to say the purpose of life is to make others happy. So this is a simple way meaning of this particular thing. Or you can even bring Gandhi's talisman, which says the usefulness of your knowledge or education is better when you are using it for the upbringing or upliftment of others. So like this, you can bring any concept of Gandhi which is very similar and bringing the meaning of this quote. Or you can mention the context of the quote. The people are moving on to materialism, individualism, and they are forgetting about compassion or service. And then you say that this is the quote which is very aptly says that service to others is finding yourself. So like this, you can mean why this Gandhi gave this quote. So that is the context of the quote. And you can explain the thought process of the author, which means why Gandhi said this. Gandhi said this because he values selfless service more than anything else. Yes. So this is why the Gandhi gave this quote, and he saw people becoming more selfish, more individual or narrow-minded. So he's saying that we have to find ourselves through service with others. So like this, you have to bring a better introduction from the quote that are given in the question. And in the next thing, we can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. So here it is meaning light and dark. So you can simply tell in the introduction what this light and dark means. That is also one unusual way of introduction. So you can simply introduce telling what is light and dark means. Of course, the light means knowledge, education, wisdom, and the dark means ignorance, disease, or any disaster, tragedy that is in life. So this is how you can introduce this particular quote in your answer. And then approach for the body. So what I write in the body is very, very important, because of course you should bring a lot of arguments, a lot of dimensions, a lot of examples into the body. So what does the body should have? So explain the components of the particular code. Say for example, in this I told what are the components? Light and dark. So you have to say, not if you are introducing saying that light is this and darkness is this, then in the body you should mention why men should not be afraid of dark and why child should not be afraid of light. The vice versa. The child being fear of dark and the men being fear of light. So you have to explain these two components of this particular code in the body of that particular ethics. So this is how you will be bringing the components of it. And of course, in the previous code, there are two components to it, which means defining yourself and the service to others. So these are the two components that are given in the Gandhi's code. So this you simply bring that, give an example, give a relevance to it. So that is how you will be bringing the components in the particular body. And tell the relevance of this application, or relevance, how this particular code can be applied in real life, in corporates, in political life, in society. So in various dimensions, try to apply the code and bring meaning to it and tell the benefits of this particular code when it is applied in that particular dimensions. So say for example, in this previous code, if you understand, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Tell how the CSR is in consonance with this. Or you can also tell how political leaders are doing this. Or tell the example of Mother Teresa, Baba Amte, or Kailash Satyarthi. There are lots of examples that are in whole who tell that these people who are contributing to the society are able to find themselves and know the real meaning of life. So this is how you are bringing some arguments in various dimensions, and you're bringing the application part of this particular code into your body. And then write down the positive implications with examples. This is very, very important. What is the code meaning? How does the code apply? And what is the benefit of this application on our real life? This is what means by positive implications with examples. So I have quoted Teresa or Baba Amte, but tell them how they applied that particular quote in their life and tell what is the benefit they got out of it. They have recovered many leprosy patients, or the patient in the very dead situations like this, how they gave the dignified life to the people who are in the deathbed. How they got some soul meaning to their life and to their life also. So like this, you have to bring the positive implications with examples. Even for the things like there are public civil servants, say civil servants like Ashok Khemka, or the most renowned Sagayam sir for all Tamil Nadu students. Fine. So even on other field like Election Commission of India, we have T.N. Seshan, or Lal Bahadur Shastri as a political leader, or Vallabhbhai Patel, Gandhi. There are a lot of people in various dimensions. Even in sports, you can quote MS Dhoni and lots of people who have showed their might and courage and values to their job. So like this, you have to bring how they are able to benefit out of being a virtuous person. So like this, being the positive examples with positive implications with examples. Then explain the threat of not following it with examples. Of course, you have to tell if you're not following this code, what will happen with examples. Say example of Hitler, or the examples of the corporate frauds like Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi, and tell how they are able to disrupt the society or disrupt the economy. Like this, bring the negative implication if you're not following that code itself. And then counter the code, of course. If there are some codes which are okay-ish, like say for example, say compassion, or they are giving only one concept. Say education should drive action. Say for example, education should bring action. You can say that education can bring action, can also bring inaction also. Because education should tell when to act and when not to act also. So you can counter the quote like this. So there are possibility of countering the quote also in some of the quotes, not every quote, because every quotes basically are universal. Some quotes you can counter and not every quotes you can counter. Fine. And then you should give two examples. Either for positive implication, give two examples. For negative implication, give two examples, or one example on each of these dimensions. That is very, very important, because quotes, you should give more than one example. That is very, very important. And then mention the issues or limitations. Even after writing all this, if you're not able to get 150 words, you can still expand this particular quote based and give some arguments telling the issues or limitations. Say for example, what is the problem? See here in this quote, we can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark, and the real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. Of course, you will tell the meaning and you will tell the application part of it, but tell why men is afraid of light. So you have to bring the issues here or the limitations. Of course, you can say you should not fear light, but is it possible? What are the problems in men? Still the men are fearing light. So these are the issues that you have to bring in your discussion. And then you can give alternate values. So in order to men not fearing dark, what are the way forward? Okay, so like this, you can expand your particular quotes and bring all these components. So you have to write relevance. This is must. But still, you can expand this arguments telling a counter to the quote, and also you can bring the issues and limitations and way forward. So that is possible for certain quotes, not every quotes. And then approach one. So there are different approaches which I'll be telling you, but of course you will follow your own approach, or you can mix and match these approaches and give your own introduction, conclusion, and any arguments in the body. So usually if you understand, this question is for 150 words. So basically if you understand, you will be introducing with 30 words and you will be concluding with 30 words. So 60 words is over. So you'll be have to write up to 90 words. So of course you will be writing for 30 words the positive relevance. Sorry, you consider 20 words or 40 words you are writing the relevance in different field. So you are applying this particular quote in different field and telling how it is relevant, and you are mentioning the significance of this quote for another 20 words. And then another 20 words, you will be writing the issues. Okay, of course, you can convert this conclusion into a way forward kind of conclusion. So this is how you will be managing your words and giving a proper structure to your answer. Fine. So let's see these quotes. I'll just take one quote from this. I think this would be very easier. One. Okay, again Gandhi for us. The simplest act of kindness are by far more powerful than 1,000 heads bowing in prayer. Okay, so here the Gandhi is talking about kindness. So how do I start with this? Introduce with the meaning of the quote. Simple. So what is kindness means and how? You should not just mention what is kindness. You should mention that it is more better than bowing in prayer. Just worshipping is not enough. You should show kindness. That is what the Gandhi is telling. So this is what you will have to convey it in the meaning. And then components of it. What is the components? Tell how kindness is better than worship. Okay, so this is how you will decode in the field of various things like how kindness is very important in individual life or in society or in work life. Like this, you can go with the life-oriented dimensions, or simply the pestle approach saying political, economic, environmental, and so on and so forth. But of course, you can bring a social-based approach totally into this. How? Kindness to old age people, kindness to disabled, kindness to SC, ST or vulnerable sections, kindness to women, children, and especially the people are affected by acid attack or the transgenders. Like this, there are different sections of people who are vulnerable, for whom this kindness is more essential than any worship or anything else. So like this, you can bring the components of it and bring the relevance of the application. And then positive implications with examples, and then the threat of not following with examples. Of course, if you're not following kindness, this society will be divided. There'll be a lot of intolerance, unrest, and there will be lots of wars will happen in future, and this will destroy the entire city. Like this, you can bring the threat of not following with examples. Example, you can talk about Israel-Palestine, where the act of kindness is not a problem. And you can talk about the refugee issue, where you're not showing kindness to the refugees, and this is creating disasters. So like this, there are lots of things that you can give the threat. And positive implication, of course, you can say how you're kind. If you're kind to the refugees, how it will benefit. Like this, you can bring the positive implications. And conclusion, of course, you can conclude saying this: kindness is an important attribute that will keep the society united and will keep the individuals in peace. Like this, you can give another quote to add more meaning to this particular quote. Fine? So this is how you have to write. Then the approach to. Again, you will introduce with the meaning, you will tell the relevance of the quote. But there is a catch. You will be writing a counter to the quote. How do I write a counter to the quote? See this quote: faith is of no avail in the absence of strength. Faith and strength both are essential to accomplish any great work. So here the author is giving an assertive statement. He's telling that faith and strength is very important. But if, of course, you can counter saying that faith and strength need not go together. It can also stay separated. Faith itself can help a lot of things, and strength need not be required. So say, for example, you can give a quote of Arunima Sinha, where she had a strong faith, though she was not having she was disabled basically, but still she had the faith of conquering the Himalayas. So like this, you have to bring a counter to the quote saying that faith itself is enough, strength is no need. Okay, so like this, you can counter the quote. And give two examples. You can bring Arunima Sinha or any acid attack victims, fine, whose faith was very, very tremendous. They had a faith in life. They did not just quit the life. They just lived. And then approach 3, of course. Here there is a difference. You have to introduce with the context and why author gave such quote, and then explain the relevance with examples and counter the quote again here. So instead of mentioning the meaning, you are giving the context and also mentioning the counter the quote. Okay, so this is again a mix and match in how you can present the answer for this quote-based question. How do I present it? Say, for example, Abdul Kalam. Let's go with Abdul Kalam's quote. If a country is to be corruption-free and become a nation of beautiful minds, I strongly feel that there are 3 key societal members who can make a difference. They are father, mother, and teacher. So, of course, Kalam is always right, but still I can counter this quote. How can I counter the quote? He has mentioned only father, mother, and teacher. Okay. Do you think any orphans would have a mother, father, or a teacher? Okay, in COVID time, there are lots of orphans who lost their mother and father. They became orphans, actually. So, for them, who has to come and rescue? It is government, NGO, and civil societies. I mean, civil servants. Okay, so government and civil servants and NGOs. So like this, you can of course bring a very alternate perspectives and bring it in the quote. Then approach 4, again you can introduce the meaning of the context, explain the components of it, tell the benefits of following the code and challenges of not following the code with examples for each, and then conclude telling it will guide future. So this is a basic approach. Of course, this is the most comprehensive and better. If you could write 2 points for this, 2 points for this, and 2 examples for each, and then give components in 2 points. So totally there will be 8 points which is there. So totally it will give a holistic answer to your code-based question, and you will fetch a lot of marks. But the catch is how you would give examples. We will be seeing examples in a lot of other further sessions, but still you have to remember this is how you approach. Then approach 5, of course, telling the context, relevance and mentioning the issues. That is, what is the issue? Say for example in this code, judge your success by what you had to give up in order to get it. So Dalai Lama is bringing the value of sacrifice. Sacrifice to succeed. So Dalai Lama is speaking about sacrifice to succeed. Do you think that everyone have to sacrifice to succeed? Or you can grab onto everything and succeed? So of course you can counter this quote saying that you need not sacrifice everything in life to succeed. Of course you have seen the civil servants who have not sacrificed their family life, family time, or their physical workout time or friends time, and they have succeeded. There are a lot of working professionals who work and then also prepare. So yes, of course, there are some sacrifices which are needed, but it's not that you are ultimately sacrificing to succeed. Yes, success is not more than happiness. Success is not more than life, you know. So like this, you can of course counter and give an alternative perspective to Dalai Lama. Of course, we have the freedom of countering Dalai Lamas instead of Gandhi's and Vivekananda's quote. So of course, you can counter the quote. Okay. And of course, we will come to this Swami Vivekananda, condemn none. If you can stretch out a helping hand, do so. If not, fold your hands, bless your brother and let them go on their own way. Do you think something is triggering you? Operation Sindoor, Operation Maharaja? Why these operations are all there? Don't you think it's just against what Vivekananda said? Condemn none. Okay? Can you sit idle when there is a terrorist attack that happened in Pahalgam? So of course, you can counter this saying that we need to be preemptive or proactive in countering the terrorist because the threat is very large. So of course, you can counter such thing and bring an alternative value or tell the issues. Instead of telling this Operation Sindoor and Operation Maharaja is totally against this code, mention that there are issues like we have to counter terrorism. Okay, we have to counter trafficking or sexual harassment, which needs a very, very strong and strict approach. So like this, you can tell the issues in this code and say it is not relevant in all the cases. Fine. And then conclusion, of course, you can conclude with a balanced way forward, or you can mention a related quotes or give a warning from the quote. Say, if you're not doing this, you will face this. Or if you're doing this, you will do wonders. So like this, you can give a different way of conclusion. Say, for example, see this. And also you can say how to inculcate the values mentioned. Say, for example, the weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. So say how you can cultivate this value of forgiveness. And then see in Tirukkural, there is a quote, falsehood takes the place of truth when it results in unblemished common good. Here it says that the falsehood may seem to be very good when it's very clearly narrated and clearly given. So this is how you will do all these things. So these are some of the toppers strategy, which I will upload it in the description. Fine. So please have a look at it. So what are the points to note? See this. So bring ethical keywords for non-ethical quotes as well. So this is the point you have to note. Even if there is a if there is a topic on democracy or there is a quote on democracy, you should bring an ethical keywords to validate the quote because it's an ethics paper. And then introduce with, okay, you should introduce with ethical keywords or bring the ethical meaning out of it and give an ethical perspective to the particular quote. Okay, so bringing an ethical perspective. How can you bring an ethical perspective to a quote, say for example about democracy? Democracy means to validate or bring voice to the people. So we have to bring voice to the people and ensure their welfare and justice. That is what the real meaning of democracy or real purpose of democracy. So that ethical perspective you have to bring in the introduction. Then you have to bring the context or the meaning. So this is how you can introduce with. That is context, meaning, definition of any core concept there, and you can conclude with message from the quote, relevant quote or theory, or a balanced big picture approach. So this is, I just summarizing how you have to introduce and how you have to conclude. And remember, you should have ethical keywords, you should bring ethical perspectives, and then 2 examples, at least 2 examples. So if it is more than that, I'm very happy. And keep it to 4 to 5 paras or 4 to, or if it is a point based, keep it at 8 points to 10 points. I told you how the points should be divided. Points should be divided between the relevance and the issues. Okay, so the positive relevance and the negative implications. So both the sides you have to bring 2 points and 2 examples that will give you a holistic answer. And then always tell both sides of the coin. That's very important. If you are telling that we have to follow kindness, tell what kindness or what will happen if you're not kind. So tell both sides of the coin. Though it means the same thing, you have to bring that in your argument. So that is how you will be making up better answers. And with that, thank you. If you have any questions and any issues with approaching this code-based question, feel free to comment on this particular video. I'll be very glad to further clarify your doubts in the next video or in the same comment if it is very simple. Thank you.